Barcelona vs Atlético Madrid. A clash that never needs an introduction. A match that is never just about 90 minutes of football, but about pride, identity, pressure, and belief. On this night, under the bright lights of the stadium, football was not just being played. It was being tested. From the very first whistle, the atmosphere felt different. The crowd knew it. The players felt it. This was not a normal league match. This was a battle between two teams that represent two completely different philosophies of football. Barcelona, a team built on possession, rhythm, and creativity. Atlético Madrid, a team shaped by discipline, intensity, and ruthless efficiency. As the ball started rolling, Atlético Madrid made their intentions clear. They were not here to admire Barcelona's passing. They were here to disrupt it. Every touch was challenged. Every run was tracked. Every second felt contested. Barcelona tried to settle into their rhythm, moving the ball side to side, searching for space, searching for control. But Atlético struck first. A quick transition, a moment of hesitation in Barcelona's defense, and suddenly the ball was in the back of the net. Silence swept across the stadium. Atlético Madrid players exploded in celebration, while Barcelona players stood frozen for a second, processing what had just happened. This was the kind of moment that breaks teams. This was the kind of moment that defines seasons. For a brief second, doubt tried to creep in. You could see it in the faces of the fans, in the body language of the players. But then something changed. Barcelona did not panic. They did not rush. They did not abandon their identity. Instead, they responded with patience. The ball began to move faster. The passes became sharper. The movement off the ball became more intelligent. Atlético Madrid dropped deeper, defending with numbers, trying to protect their lead. But the pressure was building. Slowly. Relentlessly. Barcelona were knocking on the door. Then came the moment that ignited everything. Raphinha picked up the ball on the flank. One touch. Two touches. A sudden burst of acceleration. The defenders backed off for just a split second, and that was all he needed. He struck the ball with power and precision. The goalkeeper stretched, but it was too late. The net rippled. The stadium erupted. That goal was not just an equalizer. It was a release of emotion. It was belief restored. You could feel the momentum shift instantly. Barcelona players pressed higher. Atlético players began to look uncomfortable. The crowd grew louder with every pass, every tackle, every attack. By halftime, the score was level, but the story was clear. Barcelona were in control. The second half began with even greater intensity. Barcelona came out with hunger in their eyes. They knew this match was there to be won. Atlético Madrid tried to slow the game down, breaking rhythm, committing tactical fouls, wasting seconds wherever possible. But it was not enough. Barcelona's midfield started to dominate completely. The ball moved like it was attached to invisible strings. One-touch passes. Triangles forming and dissolving. Atlético Madrid were chasing shadows. Then came the turning point. Dani Olmo found space just outside the box. For a player like him, space is dangerous. He took a touch, lifted his head, and placed the ball perfectly beyond the reach of the goalkeeper. Time seemed to freeze for a moment before the stadium exploded again. Atlético Madrid were stunned. They tried to respond, pushing players forward, taking risks. But those risks only created more space for Barcelona to exploit. The game was opening up, and that played right into Barcelona's hands. Every attack felt dangerous now. Every movement carried purpose. And then came the final blow. Ferran Torres made a perfectly timed run. The pass found him in stride. One touch to control. One touch to finish. The ball hit the back of the net, and with it, Atlético Madrid's hopes disappeared. 3 goals. One comeback. One statement. As the final minutes ticked away, Barcelona controlled the match with maturity and confidence. The crowd sang. The players smiled. The bench erupted. This was not just a victory. This was a message to the rest of the league. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard told the story. Barcelona 3. Atlético Madrid 1. But numbers never tell the full story. This match was about resilience. About identity. About refusing to give in when things go wrong. Barcelona showed that they are not just rebuilding. They are evolving. They are learning how to suffer, how to respond, and how to win big matches again. For Atlético Madrid, it was a painful lesson. They fought, they resisted, but ultimately, they were overwhelmed by a team that believed in itself more. This is why football is loved. Because moments like these remind us that the game is never over until the final whistle. That momentum can change in seconds. That belief can transform everything. This was not just another La Liga match. This was a reminder of what Barcelona represents. A team that falls, rises, and fights back. A night that fans will remember. A match that defined a season. A story written under the lights. And this is why Barcelona versus Atlético Madrid will always be more than just a game.